A stage director is not always free to choose his opera. Would be nice, but that's not often the case. And Prince Igor is for me the first, not only the first time that I stage it, but it's also my first romantic opera. I'm used much more to stage works from the 18th century or the late 18th century, or Mozart or Haydn and Handel. But I stage very often pieces that are never performed since they were created. So staging an unknown piece for me is nothing special. So for me it's a new piece that I discovered. It's a new way of being on stage, it's a new way of acting. It is difficult, but I didn't feel any resistance, so they were very open to experiment and to have something new, to learn something new. But 6 weeks is not long to learn a new way of behavior on stage. The main thing is that singers in general, they are used to use their arms. You know, when they sing high, they go up, and when they sing low, they go down. They move their hands, but without any connection to what they sing, not to the text. That's the first thing that is for them very, very difficult. Also, the aesthetic is new in the sense that there is some sort of elegance. And of course, mainly the male singers have difficulties to really experiment with elegant hands and not with, you know, like very masculine hands. That's a total new thing to do. And then the other thing which is very hard for them is go back into the aesthetics of the 19th century acting, which was a period before the what we call the method acting, which was started with Stanislavski. It's everything before that. That means that a singer has a responsibility to paint more in his body language the emotion without being it so much. Which is very difficult for them. I mean, and which is difficult for all actors now, today, because it's a language that is disappeared, yes, after the war and you know, after the whole Stanislavski method acting and all the realism on stage. So it has been a challenge. There are moments that I sometimes thought, oh my God, all our beautiful work is gone, because they go back to their normal way of acting, especially when they start singing again a lot. The moment we have a lot of rehearsals with the orchestra, then of course their instrument comes again on the foreground, and then they forget a little bit about what we have been studying so much. So then they get back to what they are used to. So yes, it has been a challenge. Some of the singers were more talented in it than others. Some of them were learning quickly and then they didn't learn on anymore, and others took a long time and then they kind of got the idea. I think there is still a very, very long way to go. It's incredible how well they work. They are so open, they are so hardworking, very attentive. Of course, they do not have to remember text and music, so their role is much smaller. But I'm incredibly happy with the choice that I made. I was lucky to have a lot of people who presented themselves and being able to do a casting and have a big choice. So I could do a very good typecasting, and we have beautiful cans who are really also in their appearance, they are just perfect. I have beautiful Russian princesses. So yes, I must say I am very, very happy, and I have no problem to be one moment a soldier and the other moment a Polovchan warrior or a guard. And they have been in many, many rehearsals I mean, it's not easy just to free yourself because these people, they have other jobs. But I'm really incredibly pleased. It's not always the case to have such good extras. Well, it has been interesting. In the beginning, I was asked, in fact, to do this opera because of the staging. But being a musicologist myself, having my approach to historical staging always goes together with the music. And of course, my first reaction was to take into account the new interesting information and research that we have by Anna Bulicheva, according to the original version of Borodin's opera, Prince Igor. In the beginning, that was not, Maestro Platonov was a little bit, okay, what do you mean? But when I offered him the score of Bulicheva, then he changed very quickly, and then we could work very well together. And he was convinced, and even in such a way that he took also away, for example, the overture, because it's mainly in Glazunov composition, and he was d'accord to cut some other Glazunov compositions, not all of them, but some of them. And he was very much open to put in new pieces, like an extra monologue for Igor and an extra scene of the rebellion of Galitsky, for example, which is never played here in the house. We have been searching each other, and we came to a very nice agreement. But I must say, I am, in my experience in directing Baroque opera, like in the West, so to speak, where this is done very, very often, I am used to a very, very tight relationship and working together with a musical director, which may be also due that there are so many other things going on in this house. We did not have so much opportunity to work close together, but maybe next time. A preparation could be that everyone reads again the old epic poem of Igor. That would be a good preparation. And I can only say that it will be a long evening, maybe longer than they are used to. So there are 2 pauses, and the last act is the longest one. But I would only say that public should be open to something new, and listen with new ears, and look with new eyes, so that they kind of connect with an aesthetic of a pre-revolution aesthetic, a Tsaristic aesthetic, a 19th century aesthetic of an interpretation of a piece that then maybe speaks in a new way for them. But it's up to the public. I'm open for all offers, but in connection with Perm, I would say that I would kind of be very interested to direct with Theodor Kourensis and his orchestra, for example, a Rameau opera. That would be rather my next dream in combination with this house than another Russian opera or Boris Godunov or whatever. Not that I would not like to do it. I mean, it has been a very good experience, and yes, also to come in connection with Russian music in Russia, sung by Russians. It's wonderful. I mean, it's, I think, an experience you only can get here in that proportion. But yeah, doing a late Baroque opera, a late 18th century opera, or a Gluck or a Rameau, with Maestro Kourensis directing, that I would like very much. My next project is Handel cantatas with the Budapest Festival Orchestra, not directed by Ivan Fischer, but his orchestra, and then together with Stefan Dietrich, the costume and set designer of Prince Igor, I will do a Handel opera, Imeneo, and a theatre piece, a German theatre piece by Kotzebue, in Norwegian, in Norway, in a historical theatre from the beginning of the 19th century.